Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. Nowadays, with so much information that's out there on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok about losing weight, everybody got their best diet plan or their best workout plan. And I kind of feel bad for a lot of you guys because there's just so much information that's out there. It's easy to get overwhelmed and confused about what's right and what's wrong. A lot of it can be conflicting information, because I remember back when I had started my fitness journey, there was nowhere near as much information out there as it is now. I just knew about the protein shakes and, fat burners here, the waist wraps and things like that. But man, now what? You got carnivore diet, you got the keto diet, the vegan diet, the fasting diet. It's like 3, 4, 5 different types of fasts that you can do. And so I can only imagine how confused and frustrated I would have been had I started trying to get fit at this time, with where the industry is now. And I was having a conversation with one of my coaching clients yesterday, actually. We had our group coaching call. We do group coaching calls on a weekly basis inside the coaching program. And one of my members asked me, she said, well, I'm doing the workout routines that you gave me, but I see, she tends to see things on Instagram. And she's like, should I be doing those things too? And I went on to tell her and everybody else that was on the coaching call, it doesn't necessarily mean the things that those trainers and coaches are teaching are wrong. And it don't mean that it's right neither. But what I see that becomes like the downfall for a lot of people is what I call shiny object syndrome. Back when I was really getting my fitness business off the ground, like the online coaching side of things, I would join a lot of different coaching programs, right? And when I would join different coaching programs, while I was in the program, I would be looking at all these other fitness coaches, and one person would say, hey, you need to be doing fitness challenges. Then the next person would say, nah, you don't need to do fitness challenges, you need to be doing webinars. And it was just all these different methods and tactics that I could be doing, but I was getting nowhere. Like when I would be looking at my bank account, I'm like, man, I done spent over $20,000, $30,000 in different business coaches, but I'm still broke. I'm still barely making ends meet. What the hell is going on here? And so I found myself frustrated because I'm like, man, what's the right thing to do? Like, what is it? Is it me? Because I feel like I'm putting in all the effort and investment in that I can. And so it wasn't until I realized I had what we call shiny object syndrome, and this happens in fitness too. People, they'll get into a coaching program, they'll start doing, other stuff that they see other trainers and coaches talking about, but not focusing on the main thing, not focusing on what they have already put together for them. They'll do a little bit of that, but then they'll be dabbling in other shit too. And this is why so many people have a hard time seeing results. This is why so many people have a hard time like just making progress and being able to keep the progress because they're bouncing from thing to thing. And so what we want to do is we want to stop adding new shit. Stop it. Stop trying to do new things. Once you have a play that works for you, this is why I love sports, because once they find plays that work, they don't take that play out the playbook. They keep running that play because it works. It's proven to work. And so we want to stop adding new shit. And what we want to do is remove. A lot of people think success is all about adding new things. Add more, add more. We get better results by adding more. No, we get better And we become more effective with our time when we remove, because removal simplifies things. Guys, we all live very intense lives to a certain extent. Like we have, I'll say, demanding lifestyles. As far as our family, we have a lot of different responsibilities, our careers, our business, not to mention if you got kids or if you run a business and you got staff, it's a lot, man. It's a lot that you got to juggle. And so are you telling me you want to keep on adding on more and more things on top of everything you already have to think about and do? That is what zaps our mental bandwidth, because it's just kind of like a computer. When you have a whole bunch of tabs going, right? And I think they call it RAM or something like that. RAM or RAM, something like that. When you have all these tabs going, it drains the battery really, really fast because you have all these tabs open. That's what happens to people's mental bandwidth when you have all these tabs open, because you're trying to do so many different things. You're trying to add on so many different things to your lifestyle, whether it be in fitness, business, whatever it is. But for the sake of this podcast, in fitness, stop adding new shit. Start removing. And so what I mean by that is, I want you to start thinking about what are the patterns that have showed up in your life that have proven to you that it makes you better. If it's proven to you, it makes you feel proud of yourself. When you getting ready to go to sleep at night, you're reflecting back on that day, or you're reflecting back on the week, and you're like, man, I'm proud of myself that I did these things. You want to keep running those plays. You want to keep doing those things. But then what you want to do is removal. While you're reflecting, reflect on the things that are not serving you. What patterns are showing up in your life that are not serving you? We all have them, guys. We all do. And so, could you go to sleep a little bit earlier? Could you stop eating as many cheat meals throughout the day or throughout the week? Could you cut back on having a cheat weekend to just having a cheat meal on the weekend? Could you be more consistent with your workouts? You see what I'm saying? Removal of certain things. And so maybe it might be, you might notice that you be around certain people and they put you at a low vibration energy state. Like you just feel bad for whatever reason. Whenever you get around certain people, they might be shaming you. I don't know what it is. Things happen. But you just know that it throws your energy off and it takes you a long time to bounce back. Removal of, not saying you got to get rid of that person, but maybe you might want to only be around that person for a certain period of time. And so that way it doesn't drain your batteries. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta love you, man. And loving you requires mastering you. Being aware of what makes you tick. Being aware of what zaps your energy. What steals your joy. What steals your enthusiasm. I know a lot of times, guys, in fitness, we have a lot of people out here who want to get in shape, but there's still going to be some people who shame you for wanting to go to the gym. They going to shame you for eating healthy. As crazy as that shit sounds, people shame people for wanting to eat healthy. Like, damn, you telling me you don't want to be, just because you don't want to eat healthy food, don't mean that my ass want to be unhealthy like you. I'm going to eat healthy. And so don't shame me. Don't make me feel bad for it, because you my friend, you my family member, you might be my partner, whoever it is. I respect your opinion. And so you can't say stupid shit like that to me, because I'm going to feel some kind of way about it. So you got to be aware of how to remove certain people or love them from a distance. And so that you can, build your life and your body the way that's going to suit you best. So that way you can be happy. Because when you going to sleep at night, ain't nobody there but you. And your partner maybe, if your ass ain't single. And so you got to be like, okay, all these people who they done shared all their opinions, they done shame, they ain't laying right here with me right now. They ain't paying my bills. They ain't with me when I was shooting in the gym. They wasn't with me when I was lifting them weights. You see what I'm saying? And so it's you living this life. And so you gotta be like, okay, even though they got their opinion, I have things that I want to get done in my life. And so these are the things that I'm going to focus on. And the reason I'm touching on this, guys, is because when I said removal, stop adding shit, I really do mean removing. Some people you have to love from a distance. And I say that because I also went through this. When I was getting into doing online fitness coaching and personal training, my dad would shame me to a certain extent. He wouldn't necessarily shame me, but he would kind of downplay. He was like, can you really make money doing that? He didn't see it the way that I saw it. And so sometimes your family members, they won't see your vision. And that's okay because they weren't blessed with it. And so at times in my journey, I had to love my dad from a distance. I still spoke to him, I still talked to him, but a lot of times it just wasn't as long. We didn't have as long of conversations. I'd get on the phone with him because I still wanted to hear his voice. He's still my pops. But I knew if the conversation just continued to linger on, eventually we go talk about what we doing in business. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't want to get to that point to where we talk about it and then he starts to say certain things that would trigger me and put me into a negative state. And so that's why I say that, guys. All right. It's not to say that you just got to stop loving and caring about the people or being around the people that you love and care about. But you got to be aware of what makes you tick and how these people, like whatever they say to you, how it affects you. And so that way, you're not finding yourself like, man, I really want to spend time with this person, but man, I'm always feeling down when I talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, I loved him from a distance. I had a season of having to love him from a distance. And now your boy out here doing his thing. I'm doing my thing now. Proof is in the pudding. He see what's popping. You ain't gonna be riding around no, C8 Corvette if you ain't got some kind of money. You know what I'm saying? Or staying out here in Buckhead, Atlanta, paying $2,000+ per month. You know what I'm saying, for rent and all that kind of stuff. And so he sees, he's like, all right, my son doing something right. And so you want to do the same thing. So you want to start focusing on not adding new things. Keep the main thing the main thing. If you don't have that main thing that's working for you, you need to find that. And that also takes time. It takes time to, give yourself some grace to learn that nutrition plan, learn that way of working out, and stop trying to do the circuit training and the supersets and the drop sets and do one thing. Get one thing dialed in. Once you figure that out, you get results with that. Then if you're like, okay, cool, let me just test this out. That's okay. But you don't want to just completely jump ship, because you jump ship, that's how your results start to be in limbo. That's how you lose some weight, then gain it back. Lose the stomach, and then your stomach starting to come back because you switching shit up too quick. All right. And so just remember, removal simplifies your life. It helps you focus. And then also complexity, it creates more stress and overwhelm. We are already stressed and overwhelmed with a lot of things that go on in life, business and relationships and family and, our careers. Is more than enough to go around. Right. And so we don't want to add more complexity into our lives because it just makes things more stressful. So focus on removal. That way we can, focus. We can have some peace of mind. Peace of mind nowadays, boy, real expensive. It's really expensive. And so whenever I can, at all costs, I try to simplify my life so that way I can have that peace of mind. You see what I'm saying? And so hopefully y'all found this podcast helpful. If you did, be sure to share the podcast with anybody that you believe would find it helpful. And also hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more. And lastly, leave your boy a 5-star review, man. Leave your boy a 5-star review so we can continue to grow the channel, grow this movement. And with that said, we out of here. Let's get it.